Welcome back to Fast Track. I'm Joe Perella. Tommy Teal and I are here with all your Purdue sports news.
Here in West Lafayette, Purdue's football team puts their pads back on in their first step toward the 2010 season. Here's a sneak peek at the beginning of the Boilermakers spring football.
With the first days of spring come the start of the Purdue football team's spring practices. That means it's back to the basics for the Boilermakers, who hope to improve on last year's 5-7 record and reach their first bowl game in 3 years. The first day of practice also gave Purdue fans their first look at highly touted transfer Robert Marve, the apparent frontrunner for the starting quarterback position. Marve will have to fight off sophomore Caleb Turbush and athletic redshirt freshman Rob Henry to win the starting spot. Despite the fact that Marve is currently involved in a 3-man race for the starting position, Coach Danny Hope was impressed with the former Hurricanes' first practice since off-season knee surgery.
Well, he's still a little rusty, but he had some great plays and some great throws as well. You know, obviously over a period of time, as he gets more experience, then he could be a standout player. But he had some great throws today, some great balls he threw, and some big time plays. Not all of them, but some that really caught your eye.
Though Coach Hope concedes the Boilermakers have many priorities this offseason, priority number one will be rebuilding the secondary, where the Purdue loses all 4 starters from the 2009 season, including future NFLer cornerback David Pender.
Well, lots of top priorities, but the secondary, you know, obviously with not having anybody coming back with any experience, the secondary is the number one priority area.
Among those hoping to fill the voids will be sophomore corner Josh Johnson and redshirt freshman safety Ishmael Aristide. But perhaps a bigger concern for the moment is this site. All Big Ten receiver Keith Smith in a cast, and he is just one of several players to miss the first day of practice.
But again, we had 7 guys that were out today, and 5 of them are starters. You know, and it's hard to create the continuity and the confidence at the same pace without your veterans in there. We'd have looked further along, and we'd have looked more like a polished football team with 5 healthy starters out there that weren't out there.
For Fast Track News, I'm Joe Perella.
The excitement continues to build as Purdue again defied the odds without Robbie Hummel, winning back-to-back games in the NCAA tournament. Fast Track reporter Robbie Donahoe went out on campus to get the reaction from the students here in West Lafayette.
There are over 40,000 students and faculty here on the Purdue University campus, and it's safe to say at least half of them didn't expect the Purdue basketball team to even make it to the Sweet 16 this year in the NCAA tournament. So let's take a couple minutes to talk with some of the people here at Purdue and find out their thoughts on the Purdue basketball team.
I think it's pretty exciting. I'm a little worried. I kind of feel like we're going to have a hard time at Duke, though, honestly. I think a lot of people thought we were going to make it to the Final Four before Robbie Hummel, and we kind of had to struggle a little bit at the game, this weekend. So I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough to beat Duke, but I think we could probably do it. But.
I mean, with Matt Painter, we always got a chance because of defense. They play sound defense, and if Ryan Smith or Lewis Jackson steps up or DJ Bird, team effort always beats a trio.
I think it's really exciting, and it's really inspiring to know that we can beat the odds from what everyone on ESPN and everyone else is saying, that we can't play basketball without Robbie Hummel. I think for me personally, I thought that was really cool that the boys can still hold this together after losing such a big teammate. So
Raymer stepped up like crazy, dropping 17 against Texas A&M. That's a Purdue win right there, not crushing them, but just hanging in there just enough to get the win, and I think we could hang in there against Duke and hopefully win by 80.
You think we can make the Final Four?
I don't know. I think it's really tough competition this year from what I've seen on the basketball games, just with the lot of last-minute points and wins and, tie scores, stuff like that.
That's a big dream. I hope we can at least, if we can beat Duke, I think we have a good chance of making it to the Final Four. So I guess what it'll just be, if we beat them, it'll be a good momentum to keep us going to the Final Four.
With all the support here at home, the Boilermakers hope that they can get a victory in Houston and make their way to the Final Four, which is 65 miles away in Indianapolis, Indiana. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Robbie Donahoe.
Now let's go to Jennifer and Sarah for our sports roundup to see how the other teams held up this past week.
Welcome to this week's Purdue Sports Roundup. I'm Sarah Wortman.
And I'm Jennifer Williams. With a busy week over spring break, we're here to recap the last 2 weeks in Purdue athletics.
The women's swimming and diving team concluded a breakout 2009-2010 season, finishing in 16th place at the NCAA Championships here in West Lafayette. All 9 athletes scored in the event and led the team to their highest finish in the program history. Freshman Caitlin Hamilton stole the show as the rookie finished in 8th in the 1650 freestyle to earn All-American status. Along with Hamilton, the other 8 competitors achieved All-American awards as well. Congratulations to Coach John Klinge and the Purdue women's swimming and diving team on a phenomenal season.
The Purdue men's swimming and diving team is gearing up for the NCAA tournament coming up this weekend in Columbus, Ohio. The Boilermakers are sending 5 divers, including Olympian David Bodaya, while Purdue sends just 1 swimmer to represent the Boilermakers. You can keep track of all the action this weekend on NCAA.com by clicking on the swimming tab.
While students rested and relaxed in warm weather, the boys of summer here from Purdue had a busy and long spring break. The Boilermaker baseball team competed in 8 games over break, going 6-2 along with a sweep on the road of the Ohio Bobcats. On Tuesday, the Boilermakers beat IPFW 10-4 behind a strong pitching performance from senior Drew Wordak. The Boilers currently are on a 5-game winning streak and will put it on the line at home this weekend with a tripleheader against Chicago State.
The Purdue wrestling team was guided by a little 125-pound freshman to a 28th place team finish at the NCAA Championships. Cache Quiroga wrapped up an outstanding rookie campaign by finishing in 6th place and became just the 5th freshman to earn All-American status. Congratulations to the Purdue wrestlers on their 3rd straight top 30 finish in the NCAAs.
The Purdue softball team had a busy spring break as well as they competed in the Fullerton Judy Garman Classic. Before that, though, they played in a Long Beach State Invitational where they went 4-3 with wins over notable teams New Mexico and Buffalo. In the Judy Garman Classic, Purdue struggled to a 1-5 record with their lone victory over Louisiana Lafayette. Ladies are back in action this weekend with a doubleheader at Northwestern, along with 2 doubleheaders on Wednesday and Thursday at home against IUPUI and Butler.
The Purdue women's tennis team continues to impress with 4 victories these past 2 weeks, with a notable victory against in-conference opponent number 30, Ohio State. The ladies have now ascended to number 33 in the ITA college tennis rankings, which is the highest since 2007. The ladies have a long break before facing in-state rival Indiana on April 3rd.
The men's tennis team had a tough go of it in Columbus on March 12th as they were swept by the number 4 ranked Buckeyes 7-0, but rebounded on Sunday the 21st with victories over Western Illinois and Lewis University 6-1. This week the men will compete in the Boise State Spring Classic in Boise, Idaho. Follow all the results on PurdueSports.com.
The men's golf team will have the week off after finishing the National Invitational in Tucson, Arizona in 11th place, while the ladies will tee off in the Liz Murphy Collegiate Classic this weekend in Athens, Georgia. The women's golf team continues to stay in the top 10 of the collegiate golf rankings at number 4.
Finally, the men and women's track and field teams concluded the indoor season by competing in the NCAA Indoor Championships in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The ladies finished in a tie for 52nd place with junior Stacy Wanamaker matching her indoor school record in the shot put. Both teams will be back in action this weekend in Tempe, Arizona in the first outdoor meet of the season.
That's all we have this week for the Sports Roundup.
Now let's send it back to Tommy and Joe.
It is March, just before spring break, and the Purdue Co-Rec is seeing the usual sudden rush of students to the gym. Many strive to tone their bodies before showing them off on their beach vacations. But one student is instead looking ahead to April with other motivations in mind.
Working out may sound like a chore for some students, but for one Boilermaker, exercising is part of a healthy, important routine. Selena Willett, a senior in speech pathology and audiology, is training for her 2nd triathlon after doing her first race last fall at the recommendation of a friend.
The reward after racing in my first one was awesome. You just are on this high because you finish something and you accomplish something. And then also it's really great because it's a great way to stay healthy. So I decided that I wanted to keep doing it to keep myself motivated to work out and stay healthy.
The sport is a competitive test of endurance consisting of running, swimming, and biking. It requires months of intense training. Selena will run her 2nd triathlon later this April.
When we come back, we'll tell you why some students are stripping down for good cause and have the local weather forecast.
And Sarah and Caitlin will have all the upcoming events with our community calendar when we return. Stay with us.
Need help with that essay or resume? Then head over to the Purdue Writing Lab. They can help you with everything from properly citing your sources to grammar and spelling. On Monday nights from 7 to 10, get help at Hicks Library. And on Wednesday nights at Meredith Hall from 7 to 10. Monday through Friday, you can visit Hevelon throughout the day. Remember, you can always get help 24/7 with just about anything you can put on paper online without.